And welcome to the Metal Mixtape here on KSQ 89.5 FM Ashland, Oregon, 94.1 FM Medford, Oregon, and stream it online on kskqdjramo. It's the boy, it's the Don, DJ Ramo, here to grace everybody in Southern Oregon. We have the legendary, the King of Sting, the Colossus of Clout, the Count of Monte Cristo. We had David Ellefson on the show. What is up?
Nice. That's a hell of an intro, man. I love that. I got to come on your show more often.
Hey, I am doing great, man. You know, I've been so excited for this interview for so long, man. I can't tell you, I've been prepping for this. I've been watching all your live shows. I know I got to see you perform like 10 years ago. And, you know, just to talk to you now, 14-year-old me would be like, what the hell, Omar? This is insane, man. You know, and it's just truly an honor. And also it's an honor to be able to talk about your new album, To Hell and Back, and just how passionate you are about this album and this crazy direction that you took musically with this album. And just even watching some of your small club shows, you know, I see how, you know, sometimes when you see musicians on stage, you can tell when they're stiff, you can tell when they're at work, and then you can tell when they're genuinely having fun. And when I saw you up there on stage, man, I saw you more in your element that I've seen you in a long time, just being really happy, and it really shows.
Nice, man. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and I'm glad. Look, I'm glad it shows, because you're right. It you know, there's things that you can't hide. You know what I mean? Yep. And you know, this is one that is very authentic. It came together just very organically. No one planned it. I mean, I just keep going back to the idea that how did three dudes out of 6 billion some people get together and make a record like this, you know, from 3 different countries, 3 different continents. We didn't know each other, you know what I mean? Like how does this happen? You know, and so sometimes you have to, you know, I think you just go, you know, this is bigger than us, you know, so just get on board, do your part, and enjoy the journey, man.
So was this did you guys know each other from like past experiences and show, or like did you just wake up one day and was like, all right, like I gotta find some of the most killer musicians, you know, of course everybody has to be on board with the same vision, because, you know, of course if nobody's on board with the same vision, you can't really give it your 100% all emotionally. Was this like, was this something you had to like look hard for to find the right people, or did you know immediately when you were talking to them that it clicked?
You know, the way it happened is I got introduced to Guilherme from a mutual friend of mine, and he said, here you meet, new song, new year. It was January 2022, so new month, new year, new mission, you know, whatever. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll play your track, send it over and let me hear it first. Right? I heard it, I went, wow, this is really different from what I would normally play on. I like it. It's super heavy. And that was in the Hall of the Hanging Serpents. And that's where the whole thing started. And I sent my part back to him. Of course, this was coming out of COVID, and we were, you know, still in, you know, lockdown. Of course, we live in on the other side of the world from each other. So, you know, I did it remotely, and it sounded great. We mixed it. I came over here to Europe. We shot a music video for it. We popped it up on my social media. Napalm loved it. They came to us and gave us a record deal. And I mean, it just fell into place, you know, and, you know, you can't write a script like this. I mean, it's just beautiful, you know, and I didn't know Michal until we shot the video together, and, you know, we hung out, we ate some pierogies in Poland. We had a great time. We liked each other. And, you know, we just realized like we're of a like mind, you know, and it's funny that I don't even think about it, but I'm like 20 years older than these guys, right? I don't even think about it, and they don't think about it either, because we feel like we're in just the same bunch of guys, same, you know, like a bunch of, like, you know, like when we put all of our bands together, man, we're dudes from the neighborhood, and, you know, we make some good tunes together. So that's really what this is.
No, I absolutely loved it, man. One of the things I really loved about just listening to this album, this project, is that a lot of times when like members they get moved to other bands, you know, I feel like a lot of times like certain members don't stick out as much, and I feel like your bass tone stuck out throughout this whole album. You know, your bass line's notable in Wicked Decidian. Just the nasty bass tone in your intro track To Hell and Back. Bass lines all through the Mark of Cain. I mean, you could really hear it just distinctly in there, and that's what I really loved about this, and especially in your gorgeous vocals. Walk with Me Forever, which I've watched your video like 6 times. I was listening to this video, and I had to send it to my girlfriend, and I was like,
Nice.
Baby, this made me think of you.
Nice.
I was like, this baby, I was like, you gotta listen to this, babe, because this makes me think. Because you know what I mean, and you know what I loved about it too is like I was reading the comments, and everybody was like, man, David should have just been singing on albums for like the last like 20 years, just stuff by himself. And you know, I love the dynamic you have in this album with Guillermo as well. But I love that like everybody in this band really sticks out like a sore thumb, and that's what I really loved about it. You know, it isn't just I would compare it to like a basketball team. It isn't just like complimentary players to like the star, you know, player in you know, like it's not everybody complimenting Jordan. It's more like the Golden State Warriors, where like everybody in the band, you know, has a really key role in your music, man. And that's what I loved about it, is that so many songs stuck out on here. And you know what? This album is really fast, really intense, really brutal, but your guys' structures are beautiful, long, and well precise. Was this, you know, I know you were saying that like, you know, you're 20 years older than the other guys. Was this always a style of heavy music that you always enjoyed playing?
You know, man, I just like music. You know, I never think about category. Is it this? Is it that? I really don't. I don't care at all. To me, it's just, is it a good tune or not, man? And I've played on a ton of things. Over the years, I've jumped on stage and done all-star jams with a lot of people, playing a ton of different things. And, you know, this one was just something, you know, to have 3 guys that can create a new sound together. You know, that's the hardest thing, I think, to do. And I think if you try to do it, you'll never really hit it. You know, I think if you just do it, and that's, I think, what we're so blessed with here is that we've been given a new sound, new friendships, new songs, new story, new journey together. We've all been in our past bands, and now we've moved past that, and you know, and I think we've moved forward with good attitudes. You know, we're not dragging any bitterness with us. We're not dragging the past. You know, the last thing you want to do when you're dating some new chick is hear her always talk about her ex-boyfriend. It's like, geez, dude, like, get over it. You know what I mean? Right? It's like, no one wants to hear about the ex. You know what I mean? It's
like, yes, definitely.
So, and it's the same with bands, man. It's like, you don't want to just, you know, it's like, well, here, what about us? We're here in the room now. This is the new band, you know? So I think what we did with this one is, we realized we had a lot of just kind of good common interests, you know, and we're all professionals. We've been around the world a bunch of times. So I mean, that was nice to just know that there's a sort of a professional acumen between us, that, you know, we've all done this. No one's like some newbie, you know, who just can't wait to get out on the road and see how much beer he can drink. And, you know, we've all did that years ago. So I think that part was nice, that was kind of behind us. And then now it's, you know, and even just now being on the road together, you know, that, you know, we suit up, we show up, we love seeing each other. We're happy when one of us walks in the room, we're excited. You know, it's every day there's more good news and good stuff that's happening, and the phone's ringing and people are excited to invite us to their party now.
Dude, I love it, man. You know, like before you guys hit on stage, do you guys go like, all right, guys, don't get mad, get even? Is that what you guys tell each other when you get up on stage?
You know, that's we don't do that, but yeah, maybe. But it's funny, we do walk around and say that a lot, you know, and say, hey, don't get mad. You know, like, yeah, we do say that. It is kind of fun when your song titles sort of, you know, they sort of pop up in conversation over something that's happening. You know, it's fun, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, it's sick, man. Like I said, there was just so many amazing songs on this album. You know, of course, you know, my favorite was Walk With Me Forever. I don't know, it's because I'm a softie to those type of like big structures. And then also like you know, I was also going to ask you, did you guys use like a lot of drone work with you guys' music videos? Because because when you had like the solo shots, the shots all around, like in the ocean and stuff, and that was really badass, dude. I don't think I've seen a music video like that yet. It must have been just super fun working on that.
It is, and we shoot them all over here. We shot all of our music videos over in Poland, and what I found is, I found these. During the 2000s, the Canadians were all stepping up, right? There's like a quality about all these great Canadian bands. And then I started to hear some good stuff coming out of Croatia. And then now I'm working with, obviously, DIETH in Poland. And there's, these unsuspecting countries where the quality is just incredible. It is great, and we found these video directors all over in Poland who, I just really they bring the goods, man, and because they're not in Hollywood and they're not used to making these big high dollar budget videos or movies and all these different things. I mean, look, the actress in the video for Walk With Me Forever, she's a well-known Polish TV actress, and the guy, the male role, he's a theater actor in Gdansk, so these are professionals. The director Oscar has incredible experience, mostly with photography, but also with video. I mean, he really was on point, man. I mean, and I've made videos with some of the best guys out there in my career, and I mean, these guys, I love using these guys that are unknown, but they're hungry. They come in, they even with To Hell and Back and Don't Get Mad Get Even. I mean, these guys really had the storyboard down. I mean, they knew exactly what they wanted. It was efficient. They shot well. They lit it. It's with not big budgets, they come prepared, and they've got a real vision of what they see. And it's funny. It always used to annoy me that these guys, they'd never have the same vision of the song that we had when we wrote it, right? That would always piss me off. It's like, no, it's not about that. It's about this. But, I realize for video people, they're just another person listening to the song. And so they sort of spin their own idea about what they think the song is about. So they plug into their video sort of lens, if you will, and go, I don't know, I think this is a cool story to tell. So I could ask you, you could ask 1,000 different people to do the same video and you'd get 1,000 different videos, So,
true.
I kind of had to just sort of take my hands off the video thing and let sort of appreciate what these directors see in us as musicians and as composers, and let them sort of tell the story through the video channel.
That's awesome, I'm sure there's so many different perspectives that people get off songs, probably emotionally too, and maybe what they're going through in their life probably has like a huge thing to do about it, because I know when I listen to, like I was talking about earlier, Walk With Me Forever, I have a beautiful partner that I really love, and I was like, honey, it's not the same when I'm alone,
Yeah.
so so when I was listening to this, like I can see how emotionally a video can hit somebody when it's recorded different or a different vision. But I feel like your song had such a huge emotional impact that I feel like if it was recorded 4 different ways, you'd still be able to feel it,
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, there is that. There is, if a song is a great song, it's a great song. It's a great song, no matter who plays it on. Maybe our song will end up in the prom dance category with like "Faithfully" by Journey, and I wouldn't go see Starship, because I love Starship, right? Like Mickey Thomas and this stuff, and it was great. And listen to these songs, and I'm just going, man, these are like like the '80s movies. Like these are the backing tracks to these movies. Every prom and wedding dance, plays these songs, and it's funny. Maybe we have one of those now too.
I think so, man. Hey, it's in my playlist, man. I know I'm going to be spinning that in my car, man. A couple more questions on this album for DIETH, To the Hell and Back. Talking to David here in Ashland, Oregon, is of course all the other songs are brutal and heavy. I love the groove mastery in Heavy Is the Crown. But you know, just in Walk With Me Forever, just specifically, do you have to get into an emotional mindset before you sing songs like this? So that way it's projected and captured correctly. Like before you get into the studio, was there like a different mindset that you had compared to like other albums in your career now that this is a new project, a new experience? You're with a bunch of guys that are just like great and on the same page. Was this a different mindset for you going into the album and laying these tracks down?
It was, yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, when you're going into sing, it's a different, and especially something like Walk With Me Forever, because this you really need to set the mood, you know. And even in the studio, it's almost
light
like
some candles,
right? Yeah, you know, yeah, we're in a small little studio, little vocal room about the size of a closet, so I don't have room for candles. But you know, in my mind, you know, getting sort of the delay and reverb, and you know, and just kind of, you know, I took a few passes at it till I found kind of the smoky, breathy, you know, kind of the whiskey breath, if you will, you know, to just sort of get the right sentiment about it, and then you just kind of live there with it, you know, because even as you're recording, you know, you need to really just kind of live into the part. And whether you're playing a guitar solo that's blazing the roof off of an arena, or you're singing a ballad, you've really got to just kind of live that emotion, you know, because that's ultimately what you're recording, is you're recording the emotion of the performer. And so now that it's been recorded, at least I have a place to go back to on stage. And you know, our live show has been this album top to bottom. I mean, as you play it, that's how we perform it live, and it really, it's a great set list, just the way it is, man. It plays good on the album, it plays good live. So as we come out of Heavy As the Crown, you know, we hit it pretty hard out of the gate, and we hit Free Soul, we take it out of Heavy As the Crown, and by the time, you know, we kind of softly deliver it down, so by the time we're ready to go to Walk With Me Forever, my voice is warmed up, you know, of course, by then. And, you know, and then it's, you know, it's an Evergrass Pop playing at 10,000 people or something in this, you know, festival tent. And, you know, okay, let 10,000 people feel that same emotion that I had in that vocal booth, in that little closet, you know, when I'm singing it. And it is. And a guy came up to me, a journalist, afterwards. He goes, "Man, you made me cry." Like, yes. I had to cry, you know, and I was like, man, mission accomplished, you know. So, bunch of dudes crying in a metal gig, you know. So I guess if I can do that, then my job is well done, you know.
Oh man, you should almost tally them up so that way you have like a list of it, like, all right, 45 dudes have cried so far, right? And one woman. 45 dudes, though.
Yeah, right. If the dude's crying, it's a whole other level. Right?
Oh yeah. No, I love it, man. Before we get into the second part of the interview, if somebody only had 5 minutes to live and you had to direct them towards one song off the DIETH album, To the Hell and Back, what would be that one song you direct them to that you think is a great representation of this project?
Oh, wow. God, that's like a goosebump question. I've never been asked that before. You know, I think in this case, I would probably say Walk With Me Forever, because, you know, the way I actually wrote the treatment for the video of this song, and I chose to go with it in a romantic equation, because when I was singing in the studio, I thought, you know, it's almost like there's two parts. It's like a call and answer, as we say, right? One person is singing the first half to somebody, and then the second half of the chorus, that person is answering back. So what I sort of took as an opportunity for a video is the, you know, the woman speaking to her now deceased lover, you know, that if you're gone, and if I walk here all alone, I'm still with you, right? You're still in my mind, you're still in my heart, right? And then the second half is the deceased from the grave, if you will, speaking to the loved one on earth, saying, hey, I'm just waiting for you to come here, because then we will truly walk forever, because forever doesn't exist on earth. Forever only exists in the afterlife, right?
Yeah.
That's forever. So, you know, I think, you know, as a, you know, man of faith myself, I think, you know, I got to a point some years back that I kind of just was okay with, yeah, there you go. Right. So, you know, when you're not afraid of dying, you got nothing to be afraid of living, you know, and then you can really truly live your life, and you can live the life the Creator meant for you to live, because you're not afraid of dying. Right now, I'm not looking forward to the dying part, but the being dead part I'm cool with, So it's, and I figure, look, the good Lord, he knows what we can tolerate. So I'm sure however he takes me out will be something that I'll be able to deal with. So, look, we're all going to leave the planet. So I think, the walk of this forever, it is that, for the thing about it, and then there's this almost joyful side on the other side of it. Maybe that's the emotion you give someone. There's this kind of a happy resolve. It's like, hey, it ain't so bad, man. Come on over to the other side. If heaven's so awesome, why are we afraid of going? That's kind of how I look at it,
No, absolutely. I love it, dude. Thank you so much. That is a beautiful answer. I know we are running out of time, and I like to respect my fellow journalists out there.
I appreciate it.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to try to knock this out in like 5 minutes. So this year upon my radio journey, I've been doing a lot of press on like German festivals, European festivals. I've seen you've played Hellfest. You played Wackenfest, one of the ones. I'm actually working on my passport right now. I'm going next year to a bunch of German festivals. I'm super excited. What's the difference between playing like American festivals and European festivals? What are the vibes? And like, be it you yourself, playing a ton of, growing up in the United States, playing all the shows here, as a young lad. Like what? Tell me some of the experiences of playing like a European festivals, because I wouldn't know. I'm sure a lot of people here in Southern Oregon that maybe haven't traveled to Europe wouldn't know. What are the experiences over there of playing those type of festivals and the energy?
So look, metal kind of started here, right? It started maybe a bit out of classical music, Deep Purple, all this stuff, right? It sort of migrated new wave of British heavy metal over to America, if you will. And so, I mean, look, as a kid and growing up, look, we had the California Jam, we had Texas Jam, Iowa Jam, and Molly Hatchet and Journey and Ted Nugent and Ellefson. That's all my, faves growing up. They all played these big festivals. So we've had them in America, and they were kind of more localized, right? Texas has a different flavor than Iowa, than California. So we know what this is. Over here, these countries, Germany to France is like going from Arizona over to California. It's not that far, right? Going down to Italy, that's like maybe driving to El Paso, driving to Texas or something, right? So if you kind of think of Europe, they're just divided states. They're not United States. They're sort of divided. Well, they kind of are together now through the EU, and through the Euro. It's a lot. You'll see when you get over here. It's really pretty easy to travel around here now. But there's still a local flavor. The Germans eat a different food, their language, their culture. They're their own people, right? The Polish, they're their own people. And you travel a few kilometers, miles, whatever, and you realize these people in this country have a whole different story. I learned a lot. Guilherme, our guitar player, he's an educated, he's got a 4-year degree in history and political science, and was actually a history teacher in high school. Right, he was actually taught school. Right, so he and I will drive to these shows and have these just deep discussions. I love history. That's one of the things I love about traveling the world with my bass is I've gotten the geography lesson and history lesson like you couldn't buy this in a college, So I love talking to them about this stuff. And so the festivals, they have, France has a different vibe to it. The Spanish have a different flavor. And, they're big rock and roll parties for their people, And so I think that's what's fun performing at them is we go in and we just do our show and everything. But you see the people, this is their night, man. This is their weekends, right? We just did Grass Pop with the Belgians, right? And there's kind of a trifecta. There's Copenhagen, Hellfest, and Grass Pop, and all the bands kind of hit all three. So you're hitting Copenhagen, Denmark, you're hitting France, you're hitting Belgium, and so just and most of these are on the weekends, these festivals. So in America, we learned years ago in the 80s, theaters, and that we started to package these tours because in America, you don't have to do the California Fest, the Arizona Fest. You can package one bunch of bands together and, let's call it Ozfest, right? And you can just tour it all around the country, right? So it sort of becomes this national tour.
I love it.
And that it's just harder to do it like that here. So that to me is the difference, you know.
I love it.
That makes any sense. Yeah.
I love it. All right, I got 2 minutes, so I'm gonna throw these in quick. Okay, these are I'm gonna throw you 3 fun questions. So these are 1-word answers, and I'm gonna ask you a big four questions. In 1 word, define James Hetfield.
Authentic.
All right, in 1 word, define Tom Araya.
Peaceful.
I love it. In 1 word, define Joey Belladonna.
Nervous.
Nervous. I like it. All right, in 1 word, define Dave Mustaine.
Genuine.
Genuine. I love it. And in 1 word, define David. Yourself.
Heartfelt.
I love it, brother. I love it. Hey, dude. David, thank you so much for being on the Metal Mixtape. This was a dream come true, man. I hope to see you in Europe sometime or around the world. Everybody, check out his new band, DIETH, and the album To Hell and Back out now. And last but not least, can you say this is David Ellefson from DIETH, and you are listening to the Metal Mixtape?
Sure. This is David Ellefson from DIETH, and you're listening to the Metal Mixtape.
Kick ass today. Have a great rest of your interviews. I'll talk to you later, bro.
Thanks,
bye.
See you, buddy. Bye. Bye.